Let's talk about job interviews. They can feel like a total high wire act, right? You know you have the skills, you've got the experience, but how do you say it? Finding just the right words can be the thing that makes or breaks it. So in this explainer, we are going to dive into the language of impact to help you walk into your next interview feeling totally confident.
And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the whole thing. In an interview, you're always walking this fine line between trying to sound really impressive and, actually being understood. Getting that balance right is the secret sauce.
Okay, so let's be real for a second. An interview is not just someone double-checking your resume. It's a performance. It's your chance to communicate your value, your confidence, and why you are the perfect fit for the job, all through the specific words you choose. Think about it like this. Your resume is what gets you in the door, but it's your vocabulary that actually sells you once you're in the room. When you use the right language, it shows the interviewer, hey, I get it. I already speak your language. All right, so first things first, let's build up your toolkit. We're going to arm you with some really specific, powerful words that hiring managers are actually listening for. Here are some words that can give your answers an instant upgrade. Seriously, think of these as shortcuts to communicating really important professional traits, like being collaborative or results-driven. Let's break a few of these down. Okay, let's start with proactive. This word is gold. When you say you're proactive, you're not just saying you're a hard worker. You're telling the interviewer that you see problems on the horizon and solve them before they become big issues. You don't just sit around waiting for instructions. Now, here's a word you probably won't hear from the other candidates: frugal. This one is brilliant. It immediately signals that you're not just thinking about your own tasks, you're thinking about the company's bottom line. It shows you're responsible and business savvy. And this one takes that idea even further. Being commercially aware means you get the big picture. You understand how your specific role actually helps the company make money and succeed. It shows you're thinking like a business partner, not just another employee. Okay, so we've got our arsenal of powerful words. But, and this is a huge but, here's where we need to be careful. There is a massive danger in trying too hard to sound smart. It's called the sophistication trap, and trust me, it can completely backfire. This quote just hits the nail on the head. The second you start dropping a bunch of jargon or overly complicated words, you stop connecting with the interviewer. You actually create distance. It kind of signals that you care more about sounding smart than about being understood. This is a perfect example. Leverage synergy is one of those empty corporate phrases. What does it even mean? But work together effectively, well, that's direct, it's clear, it's human. It describes something real. And here's another classic. Why say utilize when you can just say use? Simple, direct language builds a connection. Fancy, complicated language, well, it just builds walls between you and the person you're trying to impress. And you've got to watch out for these common traps. For instance, calling yourself a perfectionist might sound good to you, but an interviewer hears, this person probably can't delegate. And please, watch out for the word just. Saying, I just managed a small project immediately downplays what you did. Be direct. Say, I managed the project. It's so much more confident. So if it's not just about using good words and dodging bad ones, then what's the answer? It all comes down to structure. It's about taking those powerful words and weaving them into stories that are compelling and memorable, using a simple framework called the STAR method. The STAR method is going to be your best friend, especially for those "tell me about a time when" questions. It gives your answer a perfect structure: situation, task, action, and result. You set the scene, explain the goal, describe what you specifically did, and, this is key, you share the outcome. Look at this example. It's perfect, right? The situation is a clear problem: falling revenue. The task is a specific goal, a 15% increase. The actions are personal and take ownership. I designed, I set up. And the result? It's measurable, and it even exceeded the goal, a 20% increase. It's a complete, powerful story in just a few sentences. And now we get to the final piece of the puzzle. This is where we combine the solid structure of the STAR method with that dynamic, specific language we talked about earlier. This is where everything comes together. That action step in your STAR story, that is your moment to shine. And this is where you can swap out boring, passive words for strong, specific action verbs that show exactly what you accomplished. See the difference there? I helped is fine, but it's vague. I facilitated, though, tells the interviewer how you helped.
I improved is good, but I optimized? That suggests you took a strategic, maybe even data-driven approach. These words aren't just fancy, they add precision and a ton of impact.
So here it is, the main takeaway. True power in a job interview comes from combining these two things. Use the STAR method as your blueprint, and then fill in that blueprint with strong, specific action verbs. That's how you build a story that's clear, authentic, and honestly, pretty hard to forget.
So, that's our explainer. Now the ball's in your court. Think about one of your big accomplishments. How can you reframe it using this? Turn it from just a task on a list into a really powerful story. What's the first story you're going to build?